grader at El Dorado Elementary. I would like to welcome the Warriors, David Lee, the Good Tidings Foundation, and all special guests to the unveiling
ceremony
of our new basketball court.
My name is Isaac Blanco, and I am also a fourth grader at El Dorado Elementary. I would like to introduce Jim Barnett, who is television and radio analyst for the Golden State Warriors. Please help me welcome today's master of ceremony, Jim Barnett.
Thank you, Isaac. Nice job, both of you. Terrific. On behalf of the Golden State Warriors and David Lee and the Good Tidings Foundation, I would like to be the first to welcome you to David Lee Court here at the El Dorado Elementary School. We have an opportunity here today to unveil this beautiful new facility for children to play on for many years to come. Before we get on with the ceremonies, I would like to introduce our panel here. First, we have Ty Schumann. He's the principal of El Dorado. Next to Ty, we have my good friend, Big Nate Thurman, Hall of Famer. He's Warriors ambassador, one of the 50 greatest players in NBA history, and he's also on the Good Tidings board. So, welcome, Nate. At the end down there is a man who 15 years ago had a vision and implemented that vision, and he's helped do so many things for education, sports, and kids throughout the entire Bay Area, and that's Larry Harper. He's the founder of the Good Tidings Foundation. And then, the one individual who's primarily responsible for this court here today, newly acquired from New York, one of our all-stars, only all-star on the roster right now, that's David Lee. You know, the Warriors and the Good Tidings Foundation have made a priority over the year to help kids by getting involved in the Bay Area in many different endeavors. And in fact, over the last 15 years, players and the Warriors organization, as well as with Good Tidings, have refurbished, like a court here today, 45 of these courts, from San Jose to Fremont to Alameda to Oakland and here in San Francisco. So they've just done a terrific job, and the Warriors should be very proud of what they've accomplished, as well as Good Tidings. And Larry, you've done just a super job. David Lee came to this organization just in midsummer, and he was barely here. July 28th, our mayor, David Newsom, said this was going to be David Lee Day on the 28th of July. And they made groundbreaking ceremonies on that day. David, you were here, I believe, on July 28th. Gavin Newsom presented him with that honor. And so now, today, we get to unveil this court, and you can see the results when it's finally finished. They think he's done a terrific job. David has always, I was talking to his father earlier, David has always been very interested in helping kids wherever he's gone. And I think it's not only good for professional athletes to do that, I think it's their responsibility. You know, Nate and I were Golden State Warriors many, many years ago, and it's good to see young men like David Lee carry on that kind of tradition about caring and being involved. Not only caring about it, but getting involved, putting his money where his mouth is, and hands-on doing things like this today. Okay? Right now, I want to introduce Ty Schumann, the principal, as I did before. He'd like to say a few words to the audience. Ty?
Thank you very much. Thanks, everyone, for coming. Again, I can't express my gratitude enough for David and the Warriors and Larry from the Good Tidings organization. The collaboration, you see it in effect here. Look at these happy faces. We don't see this very often. We're trying to get them to read and write, and physical activity is a huge part, as we know in brain research, around cognition and how kids learn more effectively. So the balance of mind and body, you're helping us to live out that vision that we have here at El Dorado. Another key organization that has been working with El Dorado since I've been here 9 years, and they predate me, is Real Options for City Kids. Their partnership with the Warriors, really, that's the connection for me. I knew Rock knew the Warriors, and here we are, partners together, and we have this amazing, gorgeous court, thanks to David and the Warriors again. So, I want to thank all of you. Larry, this work is phenomenal. We've been fighting the kids to keep them off the court all week, as you know, so they can have at it after today, right? So thanks, everyone, for coming. I really appreciate it.
If you can hand that microphone to Nate. I don't think Nate wants to stand up. You want to stand up or sit down, Big Nate?
I'm okay here.
Okay, I figured so. As I said before, Nate Thurman's one of the greatest players in NBA history, a good friend of mine and a former teammate of mine for 3 years here with the Warriors. Nate, you're a member, board member of the Good Tidings Foundation. How did you get involved with this terrific group?
Well, I'm actually not a board member. What I am is ambassador of goodwill for them and the official spokesperson for the organization, not really a board member. But how I got involved was I got a phone call about 10 years ago from Larry Harper, who's been introduced, and Larry said, we want to put a basketball court refurbished in the Panhandle at Golden Gate Park in your name. And of course I was flabbergasted and excited about that and honored. And I met with Larry, and after talking to Larry and being around him a little bit, I said to Larry, Larry, if there's anything that I can help you do to further the organization, please feel free to call me. And that's how I got the job as the official spokesperson for Good Tidings. And I love doing it, and the organization is probably one of the greatest organizations as far as doing what they're supposed to do that I've ever been associated with.
I was there that day, by the way, at the Panhandle when they unveiled your court, and it was terrific. Can't believe that's that many years ago. It's gone by pretty fast there. Tell me about the Good Tidings Foundation and what you've learned about them and how they have been able to spread their goodwill throughout the Bay Area sports teams like the Giants and the 49ers.
Well, they're involved with all the sports teams, as you mentioned, the athletics, the Warriors. The Warriors were the first one to come on board, and the rest of them followed. And they opened up baseball and hockey and obviously basketball. And thanks again to David Lee for his efforts here. But in certain areas, this type of recreation is needed. It doesn't take the place of education. Good Tidings is also involved in arts and education. So it's a well-rounded curriculum, and I'm very, very happy about that. But obviously, one of our main focal points is putting up places for the children to play and be safe. And certainly looking at this court, and I'm sure David Lee will come back and check on it as I do, the court in Golden Gate Park. But it's a wonderful thing, and these kids will be able to enjoy it and enjoy a safe place to play.
Thank you, Nate. Well, why don't we hear from Larry Harper, who had a vision, as I said, 15, maybe even 20 years ago, and has done marvelous things. I'm interested in what you have to say, Larry.